Will now come to order. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, honorable city council members, mayor, city treasurer, deputy clerk, city attorney, our chief of staff, the administrative staff and audience who's in attendance this evening, and also to those that's viewing via our broadcast channel and YouTube Live. Welcome to the City of Romulus City Council regular meeting, and today's date is April 14th, 2025. Members of the public wishing to participate in this meeting may do so under the public comment portion of the agenda. Please fill out a request to speak public comment card, which is located on the table in the back of the chambers, and hand it to our deputy clerk. At this time, we will have roll call. Councilwoman Abdo.
Here.
Councilman Barden.
Here.
Councilman Kraut.
Here.
Councilman Jones.
Here.
Councilwoman Roscoe.
Here.
Councilwoman Talley.
Here.
And Councilman Wadsworth.
Here.
Welcome back, Councilman Wadsworth. And
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, we have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Tonight's regular council meeting agenda is as follows. Number one, agenda, 2 minutes, 3 petitioner, 4 chairperson's report, 5 mayor's report, 6 clerk's report, 7 treasurer's report, 8 public comment, 9 unfinished business, 10 new business, 11 warrant, 12 communication, and number 13 is adjournment, and a motion will be in order to accept the regular council meeting agenda as presented.
So moved to accept the regular council meeting agenda as presented.
Support. It's been motioned by Ms. Talley, supported by Mr. Kraut, for approval of the agenda as presented. Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Number 2, the minutes. Agenda item 2A for approval are the minutes from the regular meeting held on Monday, March 24th, 2025 at 7:30 p.m. Motion will be in order, please.
So moved.
Support.
Been motioned by Mr. Jones, supported by Ms. Abdo, for approval of the minutes from our regular meeting held on Monday, March the 24th at 7:30. Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Abstain.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. Agenda item 2B for approval are the minutes from the special meeting study session held on Monday, March 24th, 2025 at 6:45 p.m. to discuss the quarterly investment report.
Through the chair,
Ms. Talley?
I'd like to make that motion to approve the minutes from the special meeting study session on Monday, March 24th, 2025 at 6:45 to discuss the quarterly investment report. Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Talley, supported by Ms. Abdo, for approval of the minutes from our special meeting study session held on Monday, March the 24th at 6:45 to discuss our quarterly investments report. Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Abstain.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. Number 3 are petitioners. We do not have any petitioners on the agenda this evening. It takes us to number 4, the chairperson's report.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. First of all, I hope everyone enjoyed this nice weather we had today. Every day is a good day when we wake up, right? Right. At 5:30, we had a study session to discuss the honorary street design policy. At 6 p.m., we had a study session for our city budget for fiscal year 25-26. At this time, the chair is going to recognize Councilman Jones.
Brother Chair, I would like to motion that we, memorial resolution for Barbara Fowler, a longtime member of the Romulus community who just passed Saturday. And I'd just like to
Support.
Okay. It's been motioned by Mr. Jones, supported by Mr. Wadsworth for a memorial resolution. Mr. Jones?
yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. A motion approved. Also, the chair would like to recognize Pastor Willis.
Good afternoon, Council. Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor. Good afternoon, Chief of Staff, Attorney, Clerk, Treasurer, Deputy Clerk, and each of you, my brothers and sisters that have joined us, and those in the audience and those at home. It is a blessing always to come before Council. I enjoy you guys so much. You guys do such great work in this city, and we just love what the mayor's doing and what you guys are doing, and we just thank God that we just play a little part of keeping prayer up. Keep each of you up in prayer, that your health will stay strong and you do all the things you want to do. So now that I got all that out of the way, you know I want something. So this is a great week for us. This is a holy week for us. Began in Monday and today. A lot of stuff going on this week. It's a very, very busy week. And ending Holy Week, of course, we end with Easter, which is we as Christians, I believe that's one of the great times of the year for us. So it's busy all this week. And come Friday, it's Good Friday. And of course, Good Friday, you know, when we ask for a no-fee permit, that we'll be able to carry the cross in a procession down Goddard from the from the post office historical park down Goddard to 5 Point, where we'll have a service there at about noon. We will start the procession about 11 o'clock, and we will have the service as soon as we get to 5 Point walking. Along the route this year, as we've done years before, we will have characters. We've had Mary, the mother of Jesus Christ. We've had, in fact, our mayor, when he's ever in town, he's always participating in one of the characters. It's a funny thing about it. Him and I was kidding the other day, and he was playing a character, and I said, Mr. Mayor, you know who you're playing? He said, yeah, I Googled it before I got here. and then we laughed about it, but of course he knew who he was playing, but he wanted to make sure he got all the points right, and he did an excellent job. And we also have the judge plays Pilate, who a better person to play Pilate than the judge, so we're having a great time. We're trying to get Jones on the cross, crucify him. We have not been able, between him and the Mayor Pro Tem, we've been trying to get each one of those to get on the cross. But for some reason they don't want to get on the cross. I don't know why. That's a problem with them getting on the cross. We're really not going to hurt you bad. So that's why I'm here. It's a great week for us, and thank God for you guys. Just to laugh a little bit. You deal with so much thing all day long and get so serious, but it's good to sometimes just to laugh. The Bible said laughter is good for the soul. So we come before you again tonight asking for no fee permit, that we may be able to have a Good Friday procession.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion
Okay, Ms.
for the
Roscoe.
no fee permit for the Good Friday walk.
I second that motion.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Talley, for the no-fee permit. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. The motions are approved.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Pastor Willis. Okay, at this time, the chair is going to recognize a person that almost spelled her name, if they just put the R behind the A. It'd be Barton, but we're going to bring up Patty Brayton, Library Director. I almost say Miss Barton, but I got shot. Okay.
I think we must be related, right? Good evening again, Council, Mayor, Clerk Bragg, Deputy Clerk, Chief of Staff. Treasurer Page, Attorney Hitchcock, and audience. I'm Patty Braden. I'm here to give you the state of the library address for fiscal year 2023-24. And I apologize, it's already April, and I'm just now getting this to you. A lot has been going on. You'll notice on the screen, serving Romulus and Huron Township. We want to make sure that everybody, especially in Huron Township, knows that we serve both communities. So, moving right to the next slide, I want to introduce you to our library leadership. Councilwoman Abdo is our Vice President and City Council Liaison. Debbie Hoffman, who is here with us in the audience, is our Treasurer. Jennifer Johnson is our President and Huron Township Representative. Candace Lukowitz is our Secretary, and Emery Long is our Trustee. He is our brand new, well, not brand new anymore, but he's new to the board and doing a great job, so we're happy to have Emery. So tonight I'm going to be going through with you just a little bit of the usage for the library, a few statistics, our service to the community, our adult area renovation, partnership with area schools, and then lastly, our 3-year strategic plan for 24 through 27. So starting with library usage, this gives you just kind of a snapshot of how the community used the library during that fiscal year. We have 2 of our little library users there, picture up there for you. Starting with over 48, almost 49,000 visitors to the library this year, up 25%. Public computer use is also up 13%. Wi-Fi use is up slightly. Our checkouts are up 3%, which is close to 60,000 checkouts for that year. Downloadable checkouts, that is the checkouts for e-books and music and videos and other things that we provide. Almost 20,000 of those, up 27% this year. Summer reading registrations also up 31%. Our summer reading kickoff was incredible last summer in June. We're planning another one this year. It was up 34%. We had over 700 people here. It was all outside. We're going to do the same thing this year. So we were blown away by that, and it just shows the interest in the community for summer reading and in reading in general. 173 programs were held with over 2,100 in attendance. Our service to the community, as I mentioned, record-breaking summer reading program. We expanded our outreach to Huron Township by attending the Huron Apple Fest this year again, the Huron Rotary Picnic, and providing story time at local establishments in Huron. We participated in the 2nd annual City of Romulus Juneteenth celebration, Community Day at the Court, and many, many school events. Too many to name here. We distributed and compiled the results of our community feedback survey, which was held last spring. Got a lot of good responses to that, which we're putting into our strategic plan, which I'll talk about later. We launched some reading challenge initiatives for specific age groups. We already have the 1,000 books before kindergarten. We've now expanded that to 500 books before middle school, 100 classics before graduation for high schoolers, and then an adult classics reading challenge. We created a non-resident library card option for people who don't live in Romulus or Huron. They do have to pay for a library card, though, if they want to use the library. We expanded our hours again. I think this was like the 7th or 8th time we've expanded library hours since I've been here, going on 14 years. We are now open at 9 a.m. Monday through Thursday, over 60 hours a week, more than any time in the library's history. We hosted coffee hours with our state representatives. We celebrated several staff who received their state library certifications. The requirements for that are mainly putting in the hours, working so many hours, and so we're happy to have those certifications on our staff. We reorganized our nonfiction collection. If you're familiar with the Dewey Decimal System from way back when you were a kid, we are no longer using that. We're using what's called BISAC, and that's where we're arranging everything by topic. So it makes it a lot easier for people to find the materials they're looking for. And lastly, we celebrated 100 years of service to the community. So moving on to our adult area renovation, this was the biggest project of the year, following up with phase one, which was upgrading our circulation area, public computer area, and meeting room space. We then moved on to the adult area, added 2 study rooms for quiet study with charging stations and whiteboards. These are very heavily used. We could probably add 10 more and they'd be full if we had the money and the space, but for now we have 2 and they're very popular. Modern study tables and chairs were added also with charging stations, so you can plug in your phone or your laptop. A beautiful lounge area, which is pictured there, with comfortable seating and a fireplace. And on either side of that fireplace is our magazine shelving. We updated and modernized the end panels on the sides of the stacks so they match the circulation desk and it all kind of ties in together. We added new AV shelving, a modern designed signage on our stack units, and 2 book display units. There's an open ceiling concept which really opens up the space quite a bit, and then we updated our lighting and paint. Partnership in support of various schools. We partnered with the Romulus High School again this year for a teen summer intern. We participate monthly in the Romulus Schools Community Involvement Committee meetings. We contributed donated books to school classrooms. We get a lot of donated books. Didn't cost us anything. These were books we weren't able to use ourselves, so we were able to share them with some of the classrooms. We provided student library cards to a record number of school students in Romulus and Huron Township, and we continue with that project to try to get a library card in every student's hand, but we made great strides with that. We attended some back-to-school events and other school events. Storytime at Legacy Learning Center downtown, we continued with that, and at Kid Zone in New Boston. And then another story time we continue to do at Ferguson Early Childhood Center in New Boston. And then lastly, I want to tell you a little bit about our 24-27 strategic plan. I mentioned the feedback sessions. What we did is we looked at all of those suggestions that were made. There were lots and lots of good suggestions, and also feedback on what we're doing well. So we took a look at all of those, we analyzed them, we addressed every single one, and categorized them, and we came up with the top 5 responses or goals that we're going to look at for the next 3 years. The top one was to expand our outreach to the communities, even though you just noticed we're doing a lot of that. People want more of that. Creating a comfortable space, so they want to see more renovations. We need to market the library in new ways. We just were chosen out of 7 libraries in the whole state of Michigan for a library marketing makeover for free. So we've been attending those sessions and learning how to market the library better with that. Number 4 is to continue to enhance our library collections, order more books for people, more downloadables. And then lastly, support and retain the staff. So those were the top ones that were suggested to us. Now I'd like to thank our community partners. There are many, many of them, but a few of them are up here on the screen. And just want to point out in particular, City of Romulus, we work very closely with the city and the schools, of course, with Rotary, with Huron Township, as well as their school district, and of course the Friends of the Library. And then I'll leave you with a quote. This is from Winston Churchill. The pessimist sees difficulty in every opportunity. The optimist sees opportunity in every difficulty. So that's going to be our theme moving forward. And then I want to dedicate my presentation tonight in memory of our beloved Tammy Garrison. As you know, Tammy, or you may not know, Tammy worked for the library for a few years before she went to the school. She was not only on the Friends of the Library, she was a vice president of the Friends of the Library before she became ill. She loved her community, she loved her school, she loved her library, and there she is volunteering for us at the summer reading kickoff a couple years ago. So this is for Tammy, and we think of her family tonight as well. That's all I have for you. Thank you for your time, and I'll take any questions.
John, any questions? Mr. Wadsworth?
If I could, I want to make a couple comments here. You know, it was, and I bring this up every year because this is a very positive thing that happened in our town. 2008, 2009, we were forced to shut the library down. And after many years, and people said, you'll never open it again. It's gone. Forget about it. Get the bulldozer, knock the building down. Well, you know, there were some people that came along, and I think of a few names. I think of Midge Pribilla. I think of Sylvia Makowski, Debbie Hoffman, Tammy up there on the board, and myself. We started to meet, and we really didn't know what to do except talk and complain that the library had been shut down. And I believe it was Debbie, it was you that brought it to our attention that we could become a municipal library. We didn't have to belong to Wayne County. And we said, well, let's figure it out. And we did. And we were lucky enough to find Patty here. And the rest is a beautiful thing. I mean, the library's open now. We first opened up, I believe it was 1 or 2 days a week, and now we're open 60 hours a week. So for all the people that said get the bulldozers and knock the building down, believe me, you were wrong. You were wrong. Job well done, folks.
Thank you.
Well done.
Yep. Any other comments from council?
Yeah, I have a question. Yes. I just want to know how you keep increasing the numbers year after year after year after year. I mean, not one number has decreased year after year. As long as I've been on this council, I just see the number increase year after year after year. I mean, what are y'all doing? Marketing and it's just amazing.
Turn your mic on.
Councilwoman Talley, can you turn your mic on, please?
Is it off?
Yes, okay.
Could you hear me?
I could hear you.
Oh, yeah, because my voice carries, so. But yeah, I just wonder, because every year it's the same thing. How do you get them people, I mean, they come in, they're using the material, the resources, year after year after year, those numbers keep going up. Double digits too, so that's very impressive.
Thank you.
In a lot of
Well,
cases.
I have to give a lot of credit to my fantastic staff because they do
Okay.
a lot of work. They do amazing things. They have a lot of great ideas, and they're able to implement them. So, you know, kudos to them. They do
Yeah,
a great job.
yeah, I do a lot of programming. I mean, I don't know how people can keep up with all the programming that you guys have in place over there. It's really, really good, but it's a lot of work, but y'all do it.
It is,
It's a
yeah.
lot of work, but
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yeah, you know, I just want to piggyback on what Councilman Wadsworth said with your comment, with your, the pessimist sees difficulty in every opportunity, the optimist sees opportunity in every difficulty. And that's exactly what you did, and you went after it, and this is perfect for what happened, to get that library back opened up.
Thank you.
And
Appreciate
I
it.
appreciate you hanging in there and the strides that's been made along with you and your staff and everybody that's got on the bandwagon and helped make that happen.
Thank you.
But thanks,
Appreciate
and it's always a good presentation. You always give lots of information.
it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments from council? Okay. Thank you,
Okay.
Ms.
Thank
Brady.
you. Have a good evening.
You too. That concludes the chairperson's report.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to accept your report.
I second that motion.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Talley, for approval of the chairperson's report. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved. Thank you.
Next on the agenda, number 5 is the mayor's report.
Thank you. Good evening, City Council, Madam Treasurer, Madam Clerk, Deputy Clerk, audience here today, and also those at home. A couple items before the action items in my report. I want to thank Colleen McKay Dumas and the recreation team for all the work they did with our Easter egg hunt we had Saturday. We had great weather out there at Historic Park. Biggest event I've seen yet, the kids and the families. And we tasked our team up with coming up with bigger events that the residents are going to enjoy and get out. And it was definitely on exhibit. It's a great event growing, so if you haven't, mark your calendars for next year, come on out. But great job for that whole team. I also, this weekend we noticed a lot of business, a lot of buzz with the good weather that came out in our district. So just want to remind everybody to shop local. We've had a lot of momentum in our downtown. Artisan Reserve has a grill open now. Marveline's is open on limited hours. Also Bubby's is opening up. So there's a lot of food there downtown, but there's a lot of traffic and a lot of buzz, and some things are working. So make sure we're paying attention to shop local. And I also want to remind everybody that on Wednesday, the 16th, the doors open at 4 and presentation starts at 5, is the annual State of the City address. We'll be over at the high school again, doing a joint meeting with them. So we look forward to seeing everybody coming out to find out what's going on in our community. And that's Wednesday night. Action items I have for my report. The first one is an initiative spearheaded by Julie Albert, our assessor, to save money for street lighting by converting them over to LED. And I respectfully request council authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into the attached DTE acquisition agreement for the conversion of 1,251 streetlights to LED throughout the city of Romulus.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion to concur with the administration and authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into the attached DTE acquisition agreement for the conversion of 1,251 streetlights to LED throughout the city of Romulus.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Mr. Kraut, for this carbon reduction program for streetlight conversion project. Any discussion?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes, Ms. Talley?
I guess, Mayor, do we have the money here from SimCog for this yet? Do we have the money here? Because I think was it encumbered?
Stand by. You're still here? No.
Because I see DTU got their bill. And
I don't know if we're
write
actually
us a
in receipt
check.
of those funds yet. I don't know if we're actually in receipt of those funds yet. I can confirm, and I'll get back to you.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
If there's no other discussion, roll call vote. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. The next item I have is appropriate for tonight. I have a library board reappointment, and I'm hereby requesting approval to reappoint Candace Lukowitz to the Romulus Municipal Library Board with a term to expire April 11th, 2026.
Through the chair,
Yes, Ms. Abdo?
I'll make that motion to concur with the administration and approve the reappointment of Candace Lukowitz to the Romulus Municipal Library Board with a term to expire April 11th, 2026.
Support.
Support that.
It's been motioned by Ms. Abdo, supported by Mr. Wadsworth, for the Municipal Library Board reappointment. Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. The next item I have is a reappointment to the Police, Fire, and Safety Commission, and I'm requesting approval to reappoint Stanley Bragg to the Police, Fire, and Safety Commission with a term to expire February 22nd, 2028.
Through the chair, I'll make that motion to concur with the administration and approve the reappointment of Stanley Bragg to the Police, Fire, and Safety Commission with a term to expire on February 22nd, 2028.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Abdo, supported by Mr. Jones, for reappointment to the Police, Fire, and Safety Commission. Any discussion? Roll call vote. Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. I'd also like to thank Mr. Bragg and Mrs. Lukowitz for stepping up and volunteering to be parts of those commissions. You know, as a city, we depend on those boards and commissions to get things done. So it's greatly appreciated when people take their own time to help support. The next item I have up is a piggyback on Amnia's partners contract for playground equipment. I respectfully request council's authorization to piggyback on the Amnia partners contract number 201-7001-134 for the purchase and installation of playground equipment from Game Time for Marianne Banks Park at a total cost of $59,584.60. Gary Harris, Assistant Finance Director, has verified funds for this purchase have been budgeted for and are currently available.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion to concur with administration and consent to the piggyback on the Omnian Partners Contract Number 2017001134 for the purchase and installation of playground equipment from Game Time for Marianne Banks Park at a total cost of $59,584.60. And I have a question.
Support.
I have a question.
Been motioned by
Question.
Ms. Roscoe, supported by Mr. Kraut, for piggyback on Omnia Partners contract for playground equipment and installation for Mary Ann Banks Park. Discussion,
John,
Mr. Wadsworth?
if I could,
Then Mr.
Mayor,
Kraut.
do we assemble this ourselves, or is that part of the fee?
No, that's part of the fee. We are paying
They
them to
come to
assemble.
be installed? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
We looked at that and how much money we'd save, and there's a certain amount of liability by having our guys do it.
All right, fine.
So we wanted to make sure it was done the correct manner. Not that our guys couldn't do that, but it's gonna save us some time and some
I
liability.
didn't say that, you did.
Okay.
Any other discussion?
Through the chair.
Ms. Abdo, and then Ms.
Yeah, I just have
Roscoe.
a question for Jerry. I asked you this earlier. What are we going to do with the old equipment that's at Marianne Banks Park?
I know you asked me, but that I believe would be Colleen or Mike would be able to answer that. for the
Okay,
old equipment.
because it's still usable, and are we going to sell it? Are we going to replace it?
So the swings and slide will say the other equipment is like 30 years old, so we're replacing it.
I know that, but it's still usable. Are we going to put it up for sale? Someone could buy it, or could we put it in another park?
We have to make sure that it's safe because it's 30 years
Well,
old.
kids are still using it right now.
We'd have to take a look at that. The standards for playground equipment have substantially changed since you and I used to play on those. So as much as I enjoyed those monkey bars, they look at things different now. So I'm not sure if we had, any takers on that. But we could put it out there to see who's interested, but
Yeah, I just can't see trashing it. If kids are still using it now, it's still usable. Maybe somebody would want it.
yeah, it might be. It could be
And
an
the
additional
recycle-
liability for somebody to install, and it's so litigious anymore that if you install a 30-year-old piece of equipment at a park and somebody gets hurt, somebody's gonna sue somebody, but we could definitely look into that if there's somebody that can repurpose it. But right now, the only one that's going is just the monkey bars.
Okay,
Right.
that was my question.
Ms. Roscoe?
So when do we anticipate starting on installing this or having it completed?
As soon as possible,
Okay, so,
7 to 8 weeks for delivery.
I'm sorry.
7 to 8 weeks for delivery, and then installation, then they'll send someone out to install.
Okay,
All right.
so the beginning of summerish. Okay, thank
The
you.
the instruction the contractor got was to have it installed before June. We would like to get it, kind of, but it's subject to their schedule as well, so we're gonna push for it as soon as possible.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion?
Yeah, real quick, I agree, I don't think we should have 30-year-old equipment for them kids, that's just too dang on old. And just for you, Colleen, this is beautiful, what they have here, this is beautiful. So are we planning to do something with the other parks? I think Mike mentioned at one meeting that I think some of the stuff will be kind of like hand-me-down-ish, I'm not sure. But, I don't know, because I know we can't probably do this for every park, or do we?
So the goal is to hit every park,
Okay.
one park at a time.
'Cause this is
And
beautiful.
so Elmer Johnson's is the next park up. So
Okay.
Marianne Banks and Elmer Johnson parks are highly utilized. So we
Okay.
have to make sure, as well as St. John's Live, so absolutely we're targeting, prioritizing each park.
Yeah, and I think we talked about it in the budget meetings, Mayor, that is going to be a big priority is our park. So I think that's a great idea. This is gorgeous. Thanks for all you do, Colleen and Mike and Jerry. Thank you, guys. This is beautiful.
Okay. Any other discussion? If not, thank you, Colin. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes,
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. The next one we have is for camera recording packages at Cable Studio, and it supports the initiative for continuing to improve our communication process. I'm excited about that and the fruit that it will bear. So I'm respectfully requesting council award bid ITB 24-25-11 to the lowest, most responsible bidder, Andorama Incorporated, to purchase camera recording package for the cable studio in the amount of $12,028.49. Gary Harris, Assistant Finance Director, has verified funds for this acquisition have been budgeted for and are available.
Through the chair,
Ms. Tally?
I'd like to make that motion to concur with administration and award ITB 24/25-11 to the lowest, most responsible bidder, Andorama Inc., to purchase camera recording package for the cable studio in the amount of $12,028.49.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Tally, supported by Mr. Wadsworth, for ITB 24/25-11 for the camera recording package for cable studio. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, roll call vote. Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. The next item I have up is for the continued investment in our district downtown and to make placemaking areas for people to, or for our residents to enjoy. And it's the Goddard Plaza Eagle Alley improvements, change order number 2. And I respectfully request council approve change order number 2, RFP 24-25-02, to extend additional concrete work within the Goddard Park Plaza, also known as Eagle Alley, for the total amount of $45,537.80. Gary Harris, Finance Director, has verified funds for this acquisition have been budgeted for and are available in the DDA project costs.
Through the chair,
Ms. Tally?
I'd like to make that motion to concur with administration and approve change order number 2, RFP 24/25-02, to extend additional concrete work within the Goddard Park Plaza, Eagle Alley, for a total amount of $45,537.80.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Tally, supported by Mr. Kraut, for RFP 24/25-02 for the Garter Park Plaza, Eagle Alley improvements, change order number 2. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion approved.
Thank you, and that concludes my report for this evening.
Thank you, Mayor.
Number 6 is the clerk's report. 6A for second reading and final adoption of Budget Amendment 24-25-15, and we're requesting council's approval for this second reading of this budget amendment, and the funds are to be used with corresponding expenses and capital outlay, GL number 101-751971.000 in the amount of $60,000 for the purchase of playground equipment at Marianne Banks Park. The budget amendment was introduced at the March 24th, 2025 council meeting.
Mr. Chairman, if I can, I'm going to move to approve the second reading and final adoption of Budget Amendment 24/25-15, and it's for the playground equipment.
Support.
Been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Roscoe, for second reading and final adoption of Budget Amendment 24/25-15. Any discussion? Roll call vote. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. 6B, city acquisition and parcels, requesting council's approval and to concur with the recommendation of the Property Disposition Committee and approve the acquisition of parcel number 80006990003002 and parcel number 80006990014001.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion
Ms. Roscoe?
to concur with the recommendation of the Property Disposition Committee and approve the acquisition of the parcel number 80-006-99-0003-002 and parcel number 80-006-99-0014-001.
Support.
Second that motion. Okay.
Motion by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Mr. Wadsworth for city acquisition of parcels. Any discussion?
I got a question.
Mr. Wadsworth?
If I can, to the mayor, have we got any intention to use this property for anything, or?
No, we felt it was a good location and a major thoroughfare, and it might give us an opportunity to barter with somebody who might want to bring in the development or business that we're favorable of in the
Okay.
community, so we thought it'd be
Fine.
too
Thank
good
you.
a deal to pass up.
Okay. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. 6C, requesting council's approval to amend resolution number 25-089, changing the budget amendment number from 2425-14 to 2425-16 to correct the recently discovered duplication. The amount of the budget amendment and the GL numbers used will not be impacted and will stay the same as originally approved.
Need a motion?
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion to amend resolution number 25-089, changing the budget amendment number from 24-25-14 to 24/25-16 to correct the recently discovered duplication. The amount of the budget amendment and the GL numbers used will not be impacted and will stay the same as originally approved.
I second that motion.
Motion by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Tally. This is request to amend resolution number 25-089. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. The last action item, requesting council approval for demolition list 24-01. In your memo, it states, the Construction Board of Appeals held a demolition hearing on Tuesday, February the 11th, 2025. The Construction Board of Appeals recommends to the Romulus City Council demolition of the following structures. I'll just read the addresses there. Okay. 34139 Beverly Road, 35930 Beverly Road, 35875 Bivens, 6965 Birchdale, 6355 Cordell, 35523 Goddard, 11201 Middlebelt, 29805 Van Born, 29815 Van Born, 35854 Vinewood, 6577 Washington, and 11114 Whitehorn. In accordance with Chapter 8, Section 8-157 of the Romulus Code of Ordinances, the City Council held a public hearing on March 10th, 2025 at 6:00 p.m. It is requested that council concur with the recommendation of the Construction Board of Appeals and approve the demolition of structures and removal of debris located at the locations mentioned that I stated.
Motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion for approval of the demolition list 24-01 with the addresses the clerk just read.
Discussion.
The motion by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Mr. Kraut, for approval of demolition list 24-01. Discussion?
Yeah. I think you want to talk over there.
Good evening. I just had an update on a few of the addresses from when we had our public hearing. So 4 of the 8 addresses, a couple of them that were here that they wanted to, we were gonna work with them and do a walkthrough. So I did go and I met at 35875 Bivens and walked through the property. The interior's completely gutted. There's one side that's starting to rot away. I did speak to the homeowner and her son. They are wanting to renovate it. I did tell them, you know, they'd have to get bids, they'd have to get plans and pull permits in a timely manner. Told them that we wouldn't be able to leave this ongoing for a very long period of time, that like within a year, the renovations would have to be either moving really good or getting close to being completion. I did tell them that I'd be willing to work with them if they were doing that. Also, with 6577 Washington, that was another home, same thing. I met Miss Fowler was the owner who just recently passed. I met her daughter and her granddaughter over there. That home's completely gutted on the inside as well. They're hoping to renovate it, but they're trying to make a decision if renovation is gonna be the best way or if demolition and then putting a new home there would be the best way. And with both of them, I said I'd be willing to work with them. And I would like to keep these houses on the demolition list, knowing that I will work with them if they do the things in a timely manner, get their bids, get their plans in, pull their permits, and we're seeing progress, we move forward, then they will, these particular properties would not go out to bid, would not get demolished. But if they do not, then we wouldn't have to go through the whole process of everything again down the road to be able to actually get these structures taken care of. And then there's 2 other properties, the 11201 Middle Belt, known as the old pallet yard. So I reached out to both attorneys that reached out to us the day of our hearing, because they said they had a problem with ownership. They were battling back and forth, and I never heard back from either one of them. This particular property, the structure's been empty for a long time. It's a blight in the community. There's a bunch of pallets and everything all around. I will work with our city attorney to work with them to figure out who the owners are, but I feel very strongly that particular property definitely does need to be cleaned up. And then the last one is the 11114 Whitehorn. A gentleman by the name of Kenneth Hickman purchased that property about a week and a half ago. I met with him. He does want to basically tear down mostly and build a new home there. He has submitted a floor plan, but no construction plans as of yet. I talked to him, told him the same thing. I told him I'm gonna request that this stays on the list. That way, if he doesn't move forward and pull permits in a timely manner, that we can work through and make sure we get that property cleaned up as well. And the rest of the 8 are exactly the same as what we spoke about at the last public hearing.
Mr. Chair?
Okay, any other comment? Mayor?
Just through the chair, thank you. Regarding the property on 35875 Bivens and also the one at 6577 Washington, how long have those been on the demolition list? You've been working with those property owners?
Well, the Bivens, this is the first year that it went on, and I just started working with them. Washington, it was on last year, but I pulled it off at the end, and then we re-put it on this year, but then this is the first time I've actually started to get a hold of them and speak with them here just in the last probably month and a half.
And they've gone before the construction board of appeals?
Yes.
And so in that time, nobody's pulled a permit or got a bid or a quote?
No.
Anything substantial that shows that they know what they're undertaking? Because what I found is that everybody has a great wish and they want to do this, but they don't understand that by the time it does the demolition, the building department has a rule that cost repair is over 50% of what the cost of or value of the property is. So I wanted to make sure that those people understood what they were trying to get into. Because too many times we saw them embark on that with well intentions, and then it becomes a financial burden on them. Thank you.
Any other discussion?
Mr. Chair?
Madam Clerk?
I'll wait till the council.
No, go ahead.
Oh, no, I just want to mention that this also
Yes.
includes letting for bid. Also, this motion includes letting for bid for demolition contractor with regards to the demolition. It includes just going out to bid for the contractor.
Through the chair.
Yes,
So
Mayor?
just one more comment. I know there was a discussion at the last meeting with 11201 Middle Belt in question of ownership. Before anything can move forward with demolition, a pretty thorough title search is done through a third party. So before anything happens on a property, we are convinced, we have the property in hand, we know who the owner is. So just want to make sure council understood that as well.
Any other discussion?
So you're leaving all 4 of them on the demolition list. You're going to work with them in a timely manner to see what's going on with all that. So should we note that just in the records that the addresses, even though they're discussed, are being left on this list? Just wanted to make that clear.
So I know, like, even before we go out to bid, as the mayor was discussing, there's a lot of processes that go through this before we get to that. We got to do title searches, there's environmental testing that we have to get done, we have to get disconnects done. It's not something that goes in a very fast manner. And with these particular properties, I've already spoken with them, I've given them all the information that I've given you here tonight. I will reach out to them again this week and talk about different timelines and where they're at, because they were made aware about getting plans and starting to look for bids and trying to figure out costs of what these repairs are gonna be, because these structures would have to be brought all the way completely up to today's code. So I will reach out to them and see where they're at in that timeline, and if we're progressing forward, I'm more than willing to not let these go out to bid. I just don't wanna be right back here next year and they're still sitting in the same state that they are.
I agree. And I thank you for reaching out today, too. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Okay. Okay.
Would you like me to read this again? Well, there's already a motion on the floor, so you have to
Yeah.
vote on that. Yeah.
There's a motion on the floor and it's been seconded.
It's been seconded.
Yeah. It was motion by Ms. Roscoe, second by Mr. Crowell, for approval of demolition list 24-01. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Crowell?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
Thank you. And just for the record, we'll just note what was discussed in the minutes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
You're welcome. That concludes the action items, but for your information, we have the 2024 Planning Commission year-end report for your review. That also, for your information, every year we have the Seventh-day Adventist Church door-to-door advocacy. They always send us a letter, and so this is just for your information that they will be out in the community, knocking on doors. There's no action that would have to be taken, but it's just so that if you get a call and someone say, hey, these people are, in the community, at least you are aware that they will be in the community. Okay?
Okay.
And with that, that concludes the clerk's report. Number 7 is the treasurer's report.
Good evening, and thank you. And this evening, I do not have any items under my report. Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 8 is public comment. And this is a portion on the agenda for those who are in the audience and who would like to address City Council. The rules to address City Council can be found on the back of the meeting agenda. To address City Council, raise your hand, and after being acknowledged by the chairperson, approach the podium and state your name. Please note, members of the public who submitted a public comment card will be called upon first. You will have 3 minutes to speak, and any additional time will be upon the consent of the chairperson. We have no written requests, Mr. Chair.
Any comments from the audience? Okay, if there's no comments from the audience, Madam Clerk, close that part out. Right on out of it.
All righty then.
Thank you.
Number 9 is unfinished business.
John?
Yeah, Mr. Wadsworth.
If I could, to the mayor's office. Mayor, about a year and a half ago, I brought to the city's attention the corner of Whitehorn and Goddard. Goddard. There's 4 large telephone poles been laying there, and the people that live in the area said they've been there for almost 4 years. I mean,
It's DTE is working on a program right now, and there's several stockpiles of poles throughout. I know a guy who lives on Tobin who's got a pile of them in his front yard as well.
Okay,
He's not
okay,
happy
well
about it. Unfortunately, we don't have jurisdiction. I did tell the DTE representatives that they've been there about a year and a half, and that really surprised them, so hopefully they'll.
They
we'll see-
surprised them all week.
Right. So, yeah, I share your frustration and tell the homeowner to please, a little bit
All
more
right.
patience. We'll hopefully that new program and the updates to their system will go in.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 10 is new business. Number 11 is warrant 25-07.
Through the chair,
Ms. Abdo,
I'd like to make a motion, we pay warrant 25-07 in the following amounts. General Fund, $249,418.33. Major Street Fund, $6,952.93. Local Street Fund, $18,552.42. Public Safety Fund, $22,907.16. Cable TV, $13.45. Merriman Road Special Assessment, $228.79. Street Lighting Fund, $57,923.28. Garbage and Rubbish Collection Fund, $1,150.99. Oakwood SAD, $108.10. Tax Increment Finance Authority, $202,827.43. Downtown Development Authority, $76,793.81. Michigan Indigent Defense Fund, $29,700.30. 911 Service Fund, $2,160. Library Fund, $20,213.50. 2014 Capital Improvement Bonds, $100,000. Water and Sewer Fund, $719,925.92. Motor Vehicle, $104, $405.26. Technology Services, $32,846.82. Retiree Insurance Benefits, $144,473.52. Revolving Fund, $572. Impressed Payroll Fund, $389,856.40. Delinquent Personal Property Fund, $14,334.99. Totaling all funds, $2,195,365.40.
Support.
been motioned by Ms. Abdo, supported by Mr. Kraut, to pay warrant number 25-07 for $2,195,365.40. Any discussion? Roll call vote. Ms. Abdo,
Yes.
Mr. Kraut,
Yes.
Mr. Jones,
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe,
Yes.
Ms. Talley,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, and motion is approved.
Number 12 is communication.
Through the chair.
Ms.
A
Ms.
couple
Talley?
of quick things. We got a flyer today for the Thomas Coleman Community Center is having an Easter egg hunt, hop on over, ages 2 to 11, April 19th, this Saturday at 1 p.m. again at the Thomas Coleman Community Center, 35351 Beverly Road here in Romulus. It says, "Bring your baskets." And just want to piggyback off what Reverend Willis was saying earlier about Holy Week. This is Holy Week. I love this week of Holy Week. It's a very memorable week for me. It's a very special week for me, being a believer in Christ. We got Good Friday walk coming. It's a very busy week, but it's just a beautiful week. And so we do have our Good Friday walk coming up on Friday. I think everybody who's participating as a character on the walk, Miss Ellen and the mayor can't do it this year, but we do have our superintendent who's going to be on the walk. He's going to be John the Baptist this year. Miss Ellen's going to be his mama, and so she'll be Mother Elizabeth, and then Colleen is going to be there. We got a lot of good people who's going to be. Councilman Jones is going to be on the walk. We got Emery Long who's going to be on the walk with us. quite a few people who have stepped up. We got Pastor Bob Harper, who's going to be Jesus. Some people scared to play Jesus. He know what we are. But anyway, but Pastor Harper is going to be Jesus. We got a lot of, Emery's wife, Kim Long, is going to be on the wall. We got a lot of array of characters that's going to be portraying characters around Jesus on his final days on earth. You don't want to miss it. I think it's going to be a great walk, so I hope everybody will come out and partake on this Memorial Day leading up to me. I know everybody calls it Easter, but it's Resurrection Sunday for me because of what our Savior did on the cross. So I hope you come out and support on Friday, and I hope you go to prospective churches on Sunday to celebrate this momentous day to close out Resurrection
What time
Easter
on
Sunday.
Friday?
We're starting at the 5 Points Church. If you're a character, if you're doing a character, we ask you to be there between 9 and 9:30. We're going to be giving out the costumes. But if you're just walking, you can come up there at 10. We're going to transport you to the historical park. At 10:30, we'll start to walk between 10:30 and 11 and go from there. We'll end up at 5 Points Church again. So I hope people will come out and support this great event. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Talley. Any more? Communication?
All right, number 13 is adjournment.
So moved.
Support.
Motion by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Roscoe for adjournment. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, we are adjourned. Thank you.